Magandang araw mga ka-aerial defense, may ibabahagi na naman ako sa inyo. Dahil ngayong araw na ito ay may pag-uusapan tayo tungkol sa ating depensa, Pilipinas magbibigay ng malaking pondo para pambili ng gamit pandigma. Dahil sa Chinese aggression, pero bago tayo magpatuloy wag mo muna kalimutan mag-like, share and subscribe, mag-comment ka na rin kung taga saan ka para alam namin kung saan umaabot ang aming video. Iminungkahi ni Camarines Sur Representative Luis Raymond Villafuerte, na dagdagan ang budget ng Navy para mapahusay ng serbisyo ang lokal na maritime defense sa gitna ng patuloy na mga agresyon sa West Philippine Sea. Kasabay nito, nagrally si Villafuerte sa inisyatiba ng gobyerno para ituloy ang legal na aksyon laban sa China kasunod ng pagrampa kamakailan sa Philippine Coast Guard vessel ng barko ng China sa Escoda Shoal, sa isang kamakailang sesyon ng Commission on Appointments na nagrepaso sa mga pag-promote ng 32 matataas na opisyal ng militar. Binanggit ng matataas na kongresista ang pangangailangan para sa pagtaas ng pondo upang makakuha ng higit pang mga asset ng hukbong dagat, bahagi ito ng dalawahang diskarte upang tugunan ang lumalaking banta mula sa mga sasakyang pandagat ng China sa West Philippine Sea. Nagpahayag ng suporta si Villafuerte, ang mayorya ng Commission on Appointment, sa plano ng Department of Foreign Affairs na magsampa ng legal na kaso laban sa China bilang tugon sa insidente noong ika-31 ng Agosto sa Escoda Shoal. Pinagtibay ni Rear Admiral Roy Vincent Trinidad, ang Navy Deputy Commander at tagapagsalita para sa West Philippine Sea, ang pangako ng militar sa isang patakarang nakabatay sa diskarte at pagsunod sa internasyonal na batas. Sinabi niya na ang Administrasyong Marcos ay sumusuporta sa sandatahang lakas. Kamakailan ay nag-endorso ng $35 billion program sa loob ng 10 taon upang pahusayin ang mga kakayahan ng militar.
Recent headlines focusing on the issue on West Philippine Sea is very disturbing, especially the latest ramming of BRP Teresa Magbanwa in Escoda Shoal. Is that correct? Tama ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
By Chinese Coast Guard. I would just like to ask you, sir, or any member of the Navy, ano ba ang dapat gawin ng ating gobyerno, particularly the armed forces, in light of the continuing aggressive actions by the Chinese military against our ships, whether resupply or otherwise? And I read in the Philippine Star today that the Chinese military or non-military vessels has existing over 200 vessels around the West Philippine Sea, which, based on record, already is a show of force, the most number of vessels being shown by the Chinese military. Ano po ba ang dapat gawin natin? Ano ba matutulong natin sa inyo? There are two approaches, non-military and military. While we are practicing maximum tolerance to avoid any conflict, in terms of military, shouldn't it also be time now for the Philippine government, Congress, to allocate more funds to upgrade the Navy? And what type of equipment are needed? While we do not want to go into conflict with any other country, I just noticed that in yung Vietnam po, when the Chinese military or Coast Guard were harassing them, lumaban po sila, and hindi po grabe ang pagbubuli the way they bully us right now. So maybe we can hear from you and maybe the most senior officer of the Navy in this regard. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Your Honor, I think the spokesperson is here in the Navy. Admiral Roy Vincent Trinidad. And there's also one person, Your Honor, whom I believe in him, who's an expert also in the West Philippine Sea, in the person of Vice Admiral Cesar Bernard Valencia, Your Honor. But you will hear first from the
Mr.
spokesperson.
Chair, I'd just like to ask, how is Rear Admiral Roy Vincent Trinidad related to the former 9th IT Division Commander in Camarines Sur?
No relation, Mr. Your Honor.
Ang tawag kasi namin sa kanya, training eh. Ikaw rin ba training rin?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Lahat ng Trinidad, training. Mr. Chair?
Yes, please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Admiral Trinidad.
Your Honor, the question is quite compound. I'll try to be as brief as I could. First and foremost, we have to understand the intent of the Chinese Communist Party, which is to control South China Sea in order to further their global expansionist plans. Control of the South China Sea would mean overlapping their intent with the national interests of different ASEAN maritime states, Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, the Philippines. The Philippine government has been very supportive of the AFP. Recently, the Commander-in-Chief signed a $35 billion program over 10 years, Horizon 3. It includes different capabilities for the Navy, the Air Force, the Army, and the Joint Headquarters. Right now, we have to understand that Chinese warfighting thought is to use all instruments of national power, an interplay of all these instruments to include the military instrument. Western thought, upon which we are patterned after, is to utilize the military instrument as a last resort. So there is a disconnect along this line. We now see what is happening across all the instruments of national power. On the military side, we see the show of force of the aircraft carriers, the jets. On the legal side, we see lawfare. On the diplomatic side, we see charm diplomacy. Socio-cultural, we have seen a lot of locals, Chinese, who are now locals because of their birth certificates. We have the political leaders who have been elected, who have dubious characters. So it's a interplay of the different instruments of national power that is hitting us right now, Your Honor, Your Honors. And we have to be able to understand this to have the right approach. The example given by Vietnam and Indonesia, they put up a very hard stance, which while we are not recommending, we are still recommending a rules-based approach. We subscribe to international law. The AFP, the Philippine Navy, Air Force, and the Army will continue performing our mandate of ensuring the integrity of the national territory by continuing our patrols, our RORE missions. In terms of capability development, I will say as much as I could without revealing more on sensitive matters of national security. There is a need to develop more asymmetric capabilities. Vis-a-vis, it's not a matter of aircraft versus aircraft or ship versus ship. In terms of numbers, we understand, Your Honors, that economically they are a world power, but there are approaches that we could leverage our strength and use this against their weaknesses. For the West Philippine Sea, we need the capability to be able to sustain our presence, persistent presence. It is not enough what we are doing right now. I could give a more detailed explanation of that in an executive session or in your offices, Your Honors. On the asymmetric capability, we need not go far. We have to look at the examples of nations or non-state actors right now, how they have utilized asymmetric warfare to their advantage, Middle East and in the European theater. Thank you, Your Honors.
Well, we commend you for upholding the rules-based approach. We cannot deny the fact that we also have to increase our military capabilities side by side, practicing rules-based approach. On the legal side, while we continuously have diplomatic protests, which the government and the DFA are continuously doing, I think it's also about time that we file a legal case while we pursue that, because while our allies continuously support us and denounce the incursions or the harassment by the Chinese military, if you will see the answer of the Chinese Foreign Affairs. For example, when the European Union issued a statement that what they're doing is against contrary to law, if I'm correct, I read in the papers the Chinese Foreign Affairs Department said, don't meddle on an internal matter. You are European and this is South Asia. I mean, the way they answer already is very aggressive. While we laud our allies, New Zealand, Australia, and the US, we still need to equip ourselves. At the end of the day, it's our country that we have to defend. If we will look at the issue on Russia and Ukraine, the US government continually guaranteed support. But while the war is ongoing, I think there's not enough support. At the end of the day, it's the Ukrainian government who have to defend themselves. So we don't want that to happen in the Philippine scenario, in the West Philippine Sea. But, you know, I'm not a military person, but I think it's necessary to increase our capability in terms of naval capabilities because when we say West Philippine Sea, it's a sea battle. While we don't anticipate any conflict or war, we still have to equip and defend our waters. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. The AFP right now in the pipeline for Horizon 3 has the capabilities being planned out by the Department of National Defense. Asymmetric capabilities will provide us the capability to hit or to leverage our strength against the weakness. The weakness is distance. That's why they reclaimed land, Mischief, Subi, and the others, Johnson, so that they will be closer to the center of the South China Sea. Our military would need, I believe it's now a bill almost to be signed into law. We need to be able to develop our own to the self-reliance development program. The moment that a defense zone would be established in Bataan, that would help us to develop our own capabilities and not rely on foreign suppliers. We need also for the Filipino people to understand. Credit to our Commander-in-Chief. For the first time, we have a Commander-in-Chief who was able to state as a matter of policy, we are now shifting from internal security operations to external defense. Your AFP is prepared for the challenge. It meant a lot of soul searching on our doctrines and capabilities. But again, I mentioned that we are up to the challenge. The S&D mentioned the comprehensive archipelagic defense concept, which would mean that the Navy, the Air Force, and the Army would have to develop their capabilities to secure and to protect all the way up to the exclusive economic zone. The Filipino people now, because of the Transparency Initiative, are aware of what we are doing. There is a need to bring in the international community, especially the ASEAN. They have been silent on this, but other Western countries have been very supportive of us. We are collaborating with partners and allies, bringing in their navies for joint sails. And we have noted, Mr. Chair, Your Honors, that each time there is a joint sail in the West Philippine Sea, our potential adversary behave. But we still need to see a change in their total behavior in their overall plan for the South China Sea. Thank you, Your Honor.
As an observant, I see these large, long vessels, Coast Guard vessels, as against the smaller vessels of the Philippines. Even Vietnam has a large Coast Guard vessel. But as an observant, I was thinking, instead of buying large vessels, maybe we should procure smaller, faster vessels, because if the large Chinese Coast Guard will run after one and we have 10 more, I think that's just as an observation, mas mahirapan po sila, di ba, sa maliit at mabilis. Right now, they're ramming the small vessels and bullying, but they can ram and bully one or two. But if we have 10 more resupplying, just a thought, I would just like to ask, in terms of Horizon 2 or 3, are we planning to buy larger vessels, smaller vessels, or both?
Both, Your Honor, at the same time, more capable. In terms of defense and security, this would mean warships that could perform in the 4 domains of warfare: surface, air, subsurface, and cyber. But again, it will not be enough to have to match them number for number, ship for ship. Their maritime militia is a force multiplier. These are actually fishermen who have been deputized under the Chinese Military Commission, and in times of war, they will be supporting or getting instructions from the CMC. We need to bring in more indigenous watercraft that would be locally manufactured with capabilities that we could swing as a force multiplier, as enablers for the AFP, Mr. Chair, Your Honor.
Again, as an observer, I really love this country, and every time I see in the headlines all this harassment and bullying, it, you know, napakasama po, especially the fishermen who have cannot no longer fish in Philippine waters. And I was studying history for the past 3,000 years. Ang Chinese hindi po nakikipag-away, sila po yung inaaway. Di ba po? Sila yung ini-invade ng ibang bansa like Japan and other countries. But 1,000 years after, hindi ko maintindihan kung bakit napaka-aggressive nila now, and they are becoming more and more aggressive. So before I end, I'd just like to commend the members of the armed forces for your efforts, for your patience, and upholding the rule of law. Personally, I fully support your nomination and everyone here. Special mention to members of Class 92. Mga kaibigan po natin yan. And later I will mention po. But maraming salamat. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Maraming salamat.
Para sa mas madaming update tungkol sa ating depensa, paki-follow at like muna ng aming page na nasa description na ang link. Huwag mo na rin kalimutan mag-like, share and subscribe. Pindutin mo na rin ang bell para updated kayo sa aking mga bagong video. Maraming salamat po.